everybody, how's it going? This is Darren with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson. Today we have 3 riffs by 3 different bands that are all requests by you guys. So if you have any ideas for riffs that you want to learn, be sure to leave them down in the comments and be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at what we got. Alright, so the first one we got is High Wire by Badlands. So for those of you who don't know, this is Jake Lee's band that he did after he left Ozzy. And this is a really cool riff, if not too terribly difficult to play. It does have a lot of like pinch harmonics and stuff that, you know, can be kind of tricky if you're a beginner, but overall not too terribly bad. Alright, so we start off, we rest on the first 3 beats on the first measure, and then we're going to do this slide from nowhere to the 17th fret and back down on the low E string on beat 4. So just like that. So when you do it, if you don't end up, maybe you go up to the 15 instead of the 17, it's so quick it's not really super important. Right, and then after that, starting on the downbeat of the second measure, it's just the open A string 3 times as 16th notes. And then we hit the 3rd fret of the A string, and we want to try to do a pinch harmonic. So it's try to find that sweet spot in there. If you have more gain and like humbuckers, it's a little bit easier. This is kind of tough on these single coils, but and then we do the 3 opens again, and then we go to the 5th fret. So then we've got this is probably kind of the trickier part in here. For beat 4, we go the open A string and then the open low E string to the 3rd fret on the low E back to the open A. So it's like 4 E and so that's the first measure. Then starting on would be the 3rd measure on here, we're going to be at the 5th fret of the A string, and we're going to bend that, and then back to just the 5th fret. So we're going to bend the 5th fret up a whole step, then back down to the 3rd fret, and then back to the 5th fret, and we're going to pick that and pull off to the 3rd fret and then the open string, and then end that on the 3rd fret of the low E, and then back into like the main thing again. So now on this one here, we're going to try to hit that artificial harmonic, and we bend the 5th fret of the A string, and then back to the 5th fret, to the 3rd fret, back to the 5th, back to the 3rd, and back to the 5th with a bend. So the whole thing slowly. So the next one we got is Foxy Lady by Jimi Hendrix. Now, this is the very first Hendrix tutorial that I've ever done. I like Hendrix, but I've always had a lot of difficulty playing his riffs, getting it to sound really authentic, so I've just kind of steered away from it. But this one's not too terribly bad for Foxy Lady. So for this, we're going to... it actually starts off, he's just, at the beginning of it playing the 11th fret of the G string. And then he slides out of that to go into this riff. So for this riff, we're going to be on the 2nd fret of the low E with your 1st finger. And then I'm going to use my pinky to bar the 5th fret of the B and high E string. So we get this like... We hit that, and then it's kind of a mute strum, so you just basically release the pressure. Now if you don't do that and you just hit it twice, it's fine, because this riff, he does this, over and over and over again, but there's just slight little variances throughout. So you got the... Then we're going to take your third finger and go to the 4th fret of the D string. So it's just F sharps again, it's just an octave higher. And then that bar again. So. Back to the 2 lower F sharps. Then we're going to go to the 4th fret of the D string with your 3rd finger, to the open the open A string, to the 2nd fret of the A string, and then just drop down for a B major chord. And then it just repeats. So So like I said, there's all these different variations that he does throughout there. That, it more or less kind of stays the same, but there's just all these little, just slight variances. Alright, and then the last one we're going to look at is the riff from Deuce by Kiss. So for this one here, we're going to start off, we're going to bar the 7th fret of the A and the D string with your 3rd finger. And we're going to hit that 1 and 2. So it's 3/8 notes. Then we're going to take your 1st finger and bring it up and just bar the 5th fret of the D, G, and B string. So when we come up here and we bar that, we first hit just the G string twice as 16th notes, so 2 quick, and then the whole chord. So. Then you take your 3rd finger, keep your 1st finger where it is, and bring your 3rd finger over and bar the 7th fret of the D and G string. Back to the 2 single notes. So that's like the first measure. So this very last 5th fret thing we're doing here is on the and of 4, and then it's tied to the downbeat of 1 of the 2nd measure. So that rings out 1, and then starting on the downbeat of 2, we hit that twice. To the 7th fret, back to the 5th, and then to the A and D string, 7 and 7, and 5 and 5. So that's the whole riff. So there you have it, 3 riffs by request. So if you have ideas for riffs that you want to learn, leave them down in the comments. We also have this cool free chord chart that you can download. You can print out, hang it on your wall, and then just at a glance, just any chord that you could ever need for whatever style of music you're doing. You can have it there. I'll leave a link for that down in the description. So if you like this lesson, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this or other guitar-related topics. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.